It's good to see you guys. Good practice today. Look in the guys' eyes is one of wanting to improve and to kind of get right to it. And so we're happy to oblige this morning. A lot of good things on the tape. A lot of things that we got to improve. I think we've got players that have really high character and really strong care factor, and have sacrificed a bunch to get into this position, have given up, and have been low with an opportunity to kind of get high and achieve. And so to be in a position like this, they fight for it, and I think you saw that fight in that win. What you're not seeing is collectively 11 guys doing what they're supposed to be doing on any specific play, and we have to clean that up. What we're doing now is not sustainable. So we got a good opponent coming in. It's a coach I've known for a long time, a lot of respect for. They're searching for some success, and so we got a big test ahead of us in terms of our focus, our self-improvement, and being better here this next week than we are this week. Take any questions you guys got.
Dave, SMU had two long touchdowns, 75 yards. Obviously, one of those was kind of fluky. But how much do you guys talk about trying to limit the opponent's big plays, and what do you have to do to get that done?
Yeah, we just have to play better. I think I think there was a point last year where I know the energy when you ask that question, that I feel that too, and I probably crossed a line last year with that, and so you have to kind of correct what's correctable and be positive and try to build to the next thing, because otherwise, your emotions can take the best of you. It's a hard line to walk.
Coach, was the film as ugly as you anticipated it being? And I guess how important is this week to kind of fix some of those things on defense?
Yeah, really important. I think we're focused on it, and we're attacking it right now.
Is a lot of times you kind of mentioned it, but is it a lot of times maybe one guy being out of place, or
it's
is
multiple guys?
Yeah.
How is Michael Trigg's shoulder? What's his status?
He's still kind of working through it. He was, today was pretty light, but he was out there today, and so we're hopeful that we can get him back.
But it's not like season ending.
Do you feel like some of the struggles defensively could be attributed to like new guys out there for the first time?
I think some of it's that. It's all over right now. You wish it's not anything that's really clear. I think, there's times where, everything has to go right to get off the field. And with respect to all the offenses that are out there, it shouldn't be that hard. And then I think there's times where, hey, we're a guy away, or this technique or this play correctly away from getting off the field, and so it's all sides of that.
You mentioned you've known Chris Hatcher for a long time. Mm-hmm. Just where does that relationship start, and what are you kind of expecting from a team led by him?
They've played some bigger schools really well in the past, and I think they come out all guns firing. And so there's gadgets and tricks and reverses and fakes and you name it. And so it's a lot to prepare for. I was at Delta State. I think it was 2006, 2007. It was one of those years, and we played Valdosta State, and he was there.
Dave, you mentioned the other day it's always nicer to try to fix some of the ugly things after a win, obviously. How do you feel that energy in the building right now? I mean, are guys excited coming off a win like y'all had?
I think the training room yesterday was probably happier than it's been. I think the Yeah, I think the meetings today, even in all of the, here's what's got to get fixed, there's kind of a hopefulness and a real strong energy about that too. And I think winning does that. And so I think sometimes when you're losing, just roadblocks appear. You see the truth, but is it really worth it to go through all of this to get to it? Where I think when you win, the road is opened up again.
You're obviously going to respect every single opponent that you play, but does a game like this kind of give you an opportunity to maybe hone in on some things and really try to fix things, or is it just like every other game?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of years ago we played. It was the first game of the year, and we played someone, and I don't know if we respected them as well as we should. And there's been a couple examples in college football season so far this year of it, and so you have to respect everybody you play.
Is that something you talk about with the guys, like maybe some of the past things and what you saw even maybe last week?
Correct. Yep.
Dave, you went a lot with two down linemen with Jackie out most of the game. How did that come about? How do you come up with schemes like that maybe aren't in your playbook?
I mean, we played most of the day with two, and then the other times we played with one, and so we'll see if that continues into this next week. But trying to still get an idea of an identity and best players and putting them in the best position to succeed. And, I think we have all got to get on the same page so we can attack somebody and not have to constantly play ourselves with self-inflicted wounds. And so we're trying to get that done.
Dave Sawyer's numbers are so impressive. Is he giving you everything you would need from him?
Yeah, I'm so proud of him. He won our little personal award this morning, and the team was really, really happy for him. And so I think he's someone that everyone recognizes, has kind of been through it. And when guys are kind of in the low parts of whatever, how they handle all of that, it makes you want to root for them when they're on their, when they're ascending. And so I feel that everyone kind of feels that way with him.
Coach Kobe Prentice is like a quarter the number of snaps as Josh and Ashton, yet he leads the team in touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Did you, when you were recruiting him to come here, did you always envision him as maybe a change of pace receiver almost? Like, what was the role you wanted for him?
Yeah, this was, in recruiting him, we were, at the time, we were thinking we're going to lose Ashton. We're losing Hal. We're losing just a lot of production. And so we need someone that could be a very productive player, someone that could command a double team and take people off of Trigg and off of Josh. The guys that at the time we thought were kind of coming back. And we've been able to get that with him. I think, I think off the field, Kobe's really doing great too. He's probably the happiest I've seen him and most engaged. It's funny how those things work together on and off the field.
Dave, in the secondary, Carl Williams got back on the field, but Caden Jenkins didn't make the trip, and Tim Williams looked like he got banged up a little. Can you offer some updates on those guys?
Yeah, I think right now both of those guys are day to day. I think we had Caden out with us this morning, and Carl was out there too. And we're hoping, this should be. My hope is that this is the most healthiest we've been, really, since the beginning of the year.
And Jackie was out there for some snaps too. How's he doing?
He was out with us. He's doing better. I think he was, was struggling to kind of get his footing and all of it. I think a lot of the things he was going through, feeling like he could get it done, and then you really don't know until you know. But he's feeling great today.
With Sawyer being so impressive, how much of that can be attributed to so many weapons that he has to throw to? I mean, lots of guys stepping up. I'm sure it's mutually beneficial, but...
Sawyer on the sidelines, regardless of what the score was or regardless of what the situation was bringing guys up, was always positive. On the defensive side, Devin Bobby was that way. So proud of Devin and just his growth as a leader. Devin's playing the best football I've seen him play, 2 games in a row. But Sawyer was communicating up and down the sideline, was positive. Towards the end, I'd walk in the offensive huddle, and there's just a command with him, and it's just so cool to see. It is crazy what confidence can do to somebody, and so he's got that going right now. So we're thankful for it.
Dave, after the win, you had a couple of guys, I assume you've seen this, that were doing flips on the field. Do you tell them later, like, hey, let's tap the brakes on that, or you just let them be excited kids?
Yeah, I think, you try so hard to win. I think there has to be some type of grace in terms of that emotion, but I think really you want to act like you've been there before. And so I think, we need to win enough to where that becomes the case.
Dave, 3 of the 4 guys that we talked to after that game started their careers as walk-ons, particularly Jacob Redding. How cool is that as a coach to see that?
It's really cool. I remember David Wetzel and just that how all that thing came together, and what Jacob is now is, you could see, that's who he was then. Just like so eager, so wanting to please, wanting to do it right, wanting to be a part of, wanting to wear the jersey and wear the colors and be so proud and representative of everything that Baylor is. And so for someone like that to kind of fight through all the adversity that comes with being someone like that is just really cool.
So many players have talked about Michael Trigg's unique personality and how much that means to the team. How would you describe Michael Trigg as a person off the field?
I think he's growing. Yeah, I give him credit. I think it's hard. I think it's hard to trust people. I think it's when you haven't really trusted people, I think it's hard. It's very hard to do that. I think it's I think that's the biggest thing. I think he hasn't really trusted a bunch of people, and he hasn't allowed people to see him, and so he's doing that now, and he's the best he's ever been, and so that's really, really cool.
Dave, a couple more guys who got banged up, Colton Price and DK Kalu. How are they doing at this point?
We were this morning. I'd say day to day. DK might be a little bit further off than Colton, but I think there's an opportunity for both.
Dave, that was obviously a competition in camp with the kickers. What gave Connor the edge, and then how much confidence did you have in him putting him out there with the game on the line?
Yeah, he his kicks during practice and when we've manufactured, it matters most. We're kind of the separator, and he's anything that we could kind of come up with to kind of put pressure or spotlight on, or any type of adversity we could create. He walked right through all of that, and with some amazing, long distance kicks, and so him having that opportunity, I think everyone on the sideline really confident about what he was about to do. So happy for him. Okay.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, guys.